Back at High Point Solution Stadium, halftime, the Scarlet trailing the White 20-12. Happy to be joined by the new Director of Athletics here at Rutgers University, Pat Hobbs. Good to see you, Pat. How are you?
Good to see you, Chris.
Now, it's funny, you know, talk about getting thrown into the fire. You come right in late last November, and within 5 days, you've got to have a new head football coach in place, but you made it happen with Chris Ash. Tell me about that process and when you first got here, what you were looking for in a head coach.
I mean, you're always looking for the best head coach you can find, right? So I had some sense that this hire was going to go through with me, and so I started doing my research right away.
And, hey, Tony, we can get the offensive.
Some great coaches around the country, exciting coaches that were excited about coming to Rutgers. So we went through that first round of interviews, but I got to tell you right away, Chris Ash rose to the top.
Well, you know, you called him at the time a guy who gave you the single greatest interview that you've ever had. So what was it that jumped out to you right away?
You know, preparedness. I mean, and knowledge of Rutgers, knowledge of, I think, what we needed to do. And so every question that I asked, he had an answer. We were supposed to talk about 30 minutes. The interview went for 2 hours, and we could have kept talking, but I had to get on the phone with some other people. So I got off of that, and at the end of that day, I just couldn't stop thinking about the interview with Chris Ash and the responses that he had, what we were going to do on recruiting, what we had to do for fan experience, what we had to do on the academic side, what we had to do to bring Rutgers forward. So he was absolutely just blew me away in the interview.
What have you seen from him in the first 5-6 months of Chris on the job?
Well, after the interview, my expectations were pretty high. He's exceeded all of them. What he's done, the enthusiasm, the energy he's brought to the program, the discipline he's brought to our program. You know, we were out there that first day with practice, 11 degrees out here in High Point Solution Stadium, and we looked at our kids, and we could see right away they're a little deflated because of what they've been through, but they also weren't ready for what we thought they needed to be for our Big Ten competition. And since that, Kenny Parker, what we're doing in strength and conditioning, what we're doing in the training table, what we're doing in practice, all of that is discipline, it's effort, it's enthusiasm. The kids have bought into it. They see where we're going, and it's 100% right now in terms of what we expected.
And it wasn't the only coach that you had to hire. You made a move just a few weeks back and bringing in Steve Peichel from Stony Brook as your new head basketball coach. Tell me about Steve and what made him the right guy for Rutgers.
You know, in some ways you could say Steve and Chris are right out of the same mold. Passion about Rutgers, and I think you have to bring passion to what you do, and a plan. So, you know, I said this in a press conference. When I looked at these two guys, I saw commitment, I saw character, integrity, I saw a plan, and I saw discipline, and that's what Steve brings. And what he's done since coming in, the staff that he's put together is, I think, incredible. Carl Hobbs and Brandon Knight, Jay Young he brought from Stony Brook. Terrific staff. They're out there recruiting hard already.
And you've had the resources to help him put that staff in place. And that's something that here at Rutgers, it hasn't always necessarily been the case. That was important to you, though, in making a hire.
There's no question. And I credit Dr. Barchi, Bob Barchi, our president. He said, we're in the Big Ten. We want to be competitive in the Big Ten. We're going to put the resources there with the right leadership to be successful in the Big Ten. So I credit Bob Barchi. I credit our board, Greg Brown, our chairman. Tremendous people who are committed to excellence, committed to success, both on the field and off the field. So really, they deserve all the credit.
Now, part of that is the campaign that you have launched, $100 million fundraising campaign called Our Big Ten Build. And you launched it a couple of months ago. How has it been going so far?
It's going terrific. We're about 2 weeks away from giving a little bit public announcement of where we are. I think people are going to be very surprised. I think more people are going to jump in and say, let's get this done. This is a different day at Rutgers. Our athletes need these facilities, and so we need to bring them to them, whether it's for our basketball teams, our men's and women's basketball, whether it's our soccer, lacrosse teams, and certainly our football team needs that as well.
And speaking of your lacrosse teams, it's been a pretty good week around here.
We're undefeated.
Absolutely. Fantastic. You had wins for the women's lacrosse team over 15th-ranked Ohio State. Last night over Penn State for the men. Softball with a couple of big wins. Baseball with a couple of big wins. This hasn't been too shabby.
Don't forget rowing this morning.
Exactly. Exactly. So you've had a pretty darn good week overall.
We're undefeated, and I know we can't lose tonight.
Well, before we let you go, just give me a sense here, Pat, your time here on the job. Has it been what you expected it to be? What has been your biggest challenge?
Well, let me talk about before the greatest thing that I found is the passion of the Rutgers fan. Even today, I went through all of the tailgating in the parking lot. I mean, people out there, they're excited about Rutgers. They're excited about where we're going. So that's tremendous, right? The passion of the Rutgers fan. The challenge is, let's get the facilities done. Let's give the resources our coaches need to be successful. And then I really think we can accomplish anything here at Rutgers.
And with that in mind, the passion of the fans, you've got the big tour coming this summer as well.
We do. Yes, we do. We're going to be down in Spring Lake. We're going to be out at Monmouth Park. We're going to be around. We're going to get our fans out, get them excited about where we're going. They are excited already. We want to get our coaches with some of our fans. People need to believe that this is where we're going. We're confident about our purpose. People write about winning streaks and losing streaks. I believe Rutgers is going on a winning streak.
Now, our big tour begins next month at Yankee Stadium.
Absolutely, May 24th.
You're going to be throwing out the first pitch.
Lifelong Yankee fan, so the opportunity to throw at that first pitch. I just got to make sure I reach home plate.
Yeah, are you nervous? Are you thinking about it already?
I got to go out and train the arm right now.
Well, Pat, I mean, you've already seen some real positive developments here in the first several months of your tenure. Congratulations.
Thanks,
and
Chris.
hopefully continued success.
Continued success for everybody and everybody at BTN.
Athletic Director here at Rutgers, Pat Hobbs, who brought in Chris Ash as his new head football coach, and just a few weeks back, Steve Peichel as his new basketball coach on the men's side. As we are underway here in the third quarter, as you have gotten a chance to see, still 20-12 in favor of the White, but